Dr. Esther Trufan, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate how to separate a solid from a liquid that it does not dissolve in. For this setup, I'm going to demonstrate how to do it in the lab using the technique called gravimetric filtration. So for this experiment, I'm going to need quite a bit of equipment to set it up. First, I'm going to need a stand and an O-ring. And that's right here. To place the O-ring on the stand, we just separate it, slide it in position, and then screw it in so that it's stable, because I will be putting glass in this and I don't want to break it. Next, to do filtration, we're going to need a funnel. And we need a funnel and an O-ring that are compatible, which means the O-ring cannot be larger than the funnel so that it does not slide out. Then, to collect the filtrate that goes through, we're going to need a beaker, and we place that on the bottom. For the setup, we need to lower the funnel inside the beaker so that it's just below the rim of the beaker. This will avoid splashes as the filtrate drips through the funnel. Next, I'm going to use filter paper, and in this case, I'm going to use a rather large one. If you only have a smaller one, that is fine too. And then I'm going to set this up. First, I will take my filter paper and fold it in half, and I will mark that fold. Then I'm going to take it and fold it in half again, and then smooth that edge as well. Now, if I open this up, I should see 4 creases. But if I close it back up and open it, not in the middle because it opens up, but in one of the sides, then it should look like this. And I will place this into my funnel. What you'll notice right away is that the paper jumps out of it because there's nothing to hold it in place. So this is where my materials are going to come in. First, I'm going to bring in some water, and the first task for the water is to hold my paper in place. So I'm going to add just a couple drops onto the paper on the side. And as you can see, it's already sticking to the glass funnel. Now we need to bring in the heterogeneous mixture that we're going to separate. Here is the result of a precipitation reaction: an insoluble solid on the bottom and a soluble material dissolved in the water. So when we filter this, the soluble material will go through dissolved in the water. We will call that the filtrate, and we will collect that in the beaker on the bottom. The insoluble material is going to stick to the filter paper and be collected on the top. When we pour this in, we will try not to aim to the center of the filter, but rather the side of the filter paper. And as we pour things in, it is important to remember to never add more solution so that it doesn't go beyond the rim of the paper. If it goes beyond that, it will go in between the paper and the funnel, and then it is going to interfere with your filtration. And now we're going to wait, sit back, and let it drip through. We will collect the filtrate here and the insoluble material on the filter paper. It has been a while, and our calcium carbonate suspension in the salt solution has resulted in this setup, where in the filter paper we only have this white solid, and in the bottom beaker we have this mostly clear solution. But in the original beaker, we still have a little bit of residue. So we need to make sure that this all gets transferred and the filtration is complete. So we're going to add a little bit of the ionized water. Swirl it really well. And then transfer it quickly onto our filter paper. Now in this part of the process, what we're focused on is making sure that all the material from our beaker is transferred onto the filter paper. We're not washing the filter paper yet. We add small increments each time. And we repeat the process 2 or 3 times until the beaker is as clean as we can get it. After 3 washes, there are diminishing returns in this process, so we typically stop. Now we wait until all the transferred solution is fully separated, and then we're going to focus on rinsing our filter paper with the ionized water. Now that all my filtrate dripped through, if I look at my funnel and the filter paper, I only have the white solid left on top. So I transferred all the heterogeneous mixture that I had. I rinsed my beaker through it. And the only thing that I have left to do now is to make sure that there is no salt residue stuck to the filter paper. To do that, I am going to use some deionized water and add just a little bit around the top of my filter paper inside the funnel. I can swirl it around a little bit more to make sure that I have good contact between the water that I added and the filter paper. And then I'm going to just wait for it to completely drip through. This process can be repeated another at least 1 or 2 times to make sure that our filter paper is free of the soluble residue. Once the rinsing of my filter paper is complete, and I've done the rinsing at least 2 times, I am ready to extract the filter paper from the funnel. I will reach into it without touching the white solid, pull it up, and place it on my watch glass. My filtrate is inside the beaker, and from here I can decide where I want to take it next. If I want to recover the solid that is dissolved inside the filtrate, I can place it on a hot plate and evaporate it, or if I want to retain the solution, I can put it in a container and close it.